Wilson makes someone miss. Garrett Wilson's loose to the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Breece Hall cuts up the middle. Breece Hall's loose. Breece Hall's gone. Breece Hall is gone. He walks into the end zone. Josh Allen fires it over the middle. Intercepted. Sauce Gardner picks off Allen. Sauce Gardner, let's go. The rookie picks off Josh Allen. Win it. It's that ball. Oh my God. Drops back to pass. He fires it over the middle. Touchdown. Garrett Wilson. The New York Jets tie the football game. The rookie. The Jets win. The Jets win. Ashton Davis. Ices the game. Let's go. And Quinton Williams with the tackle for loss. That's a loss of 5 yards. Josh Allen is going to fire up a bomb. Josh Allen. Sauce Gardner's there for the game winner. The New York Jets beat the Buffalo Bills and improved to 6-3 on the year. Sauce Gardner.
That's how we get on the ball, boy. Yeah.
Yo, Jets Nation, we got some breaking Jets news. The New York Jets are bringing in Derek Carr for a visit this weekend. Oh man, it's beginning. The Jets quarterback search is starting, everybody. Woo! All right, so per Mike Garafolo, says that the New York Jets are bringing in Derek Carr this weekend. It's his second visit. He already visited the New Orleans Saints before he was officially released from the Raiders. So this is really big news because this tells us that the New York Jets are definitely interested in bringing in Derek Carr. Now, the big question is, are they going to sign him this weekend? Because guess what? They can. That's the crazy thing about this right here, everybody. The New York Jets could literally sign Derek Carr after this visit because Derek Carr does not have to wait until free agency to sign a contract like most other people do because he was released by the Raiders prior to February 15th. It gives him the ability to go out there and sign at any given moment. Now, we all know that Aaron Rodgers is currently in his darkness retreat. He's in isolation. He has no idea what's going on in the outside world. He's inside his own body. He's inside his own thoughts. He's namasteing right now. And we all know that Aaron Rodgers to the Jets has been the main focus. But this is good news because the Jets have to make sure that they hit on one of the two quarterbacks of Derek Carr and Aaron Rodgers. It needs to be one of those two. It has to be. Throw in Lamar Jackson in there, I guess. But still, it has to be Aaron Rodgers or Derek Carr or Lamar Jackson. If it's not one of those three quarterbacks, it's going to have to be Jimmy Garoppolo. It's going to have to be Ryan Tannehill. And I don't know if Jets fans are going to be really excited about that. So this is good news for the sole purpose of if Aaron Rodgers comes out of his isolation, he makes a decision that he's going to retire, or he makes a decision that he's coming back to the Packers, or he makes a decision he wants to go to the Raiders, and he doesn't want to come to the Jets, then the Jets already met with Derek Carr. They already know they can pivot right to Carr and say, we want you. Here's the contract. Come sign it. Now, I would be very shocked if the Jets would just sign Derek Carr before they hear about Aaron Rodgers' future. I think they're going to wait it out. They're probably going to tell Derek Carr, I'm assuming all this, that we're going to wait to hear from Aaron Rodgers, but we want you. So we will see what happens, man. Stay tuned. This is big news. I don't want to get your guys' thoughts in the chat. Shout out to everybody. We got Fernando with the $5 super chat. What up, Fernando? Thank you so much for the $5, my friend. I'm a Rodgers guy, but if you're bringing him in, you have to lock him up. No question. Go Jets. Let's be competitive again. Derek Carr will bring this Jets team to be competitive. It will bring us to a playoff caliber team 110%. I want Derek Carr. I also want Aaron Rodgers a little bit more. So let's freaking go. Fernando, thank you. Thank you for the $5 donation, my man. Really does help out the channel. I want to make a poll in the chat real quick because I want to get your guys' thoughts. Do you want the Jets to sign Derek Carr? Simple question. Do you want the Jets to sign Derek Carr? Yes or no? Because I know there's some people that are totally against it. Totally against Derek Carr. But I'm sure the first vote is actually a no. That's funny. I'm sure there's still some people that are against it. Fernando, again, thank you for the $5 super chat. Why would Carr come here? Why wouldn't he come here, Jets Unleashed? We have everybody on this roster to help him out. What kind of question is that? We got the defense. We got everything. I want Aaron Rodgers, by the way, more than Derek Carr, and I want to make sure you guys understand that. The way I'm looking at it, and I'm not even considering Lamar Jackson because I still think that's a pipe dream. It's Aaron Rodgers number one for me. It's Derek Carr close second, and there's a big gap in between the next tier quarterbacks, which is like Jimmy Garoppolo, Ryan Tannehill, Baker Mayfield, all those guys. So let me know your thoughts in the chat right now on the poll. Do you want to sign Derek Carr? Do you want to be patient and wait for Aaron Rodgers? Where do you guys stand right now? And also, if you guys can do me a gigantic favor, please hit that like button on your way in. We got 35 likes with 142 people watching. Smash those buttons for your boy. We greatly appreciate that. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. My man Nick is in the chat. What up, Nick? Hope you're doing well, bro. Don't want to waste time with anyone but Rodgers. So you're all in on A-Rod, Nick. You don't want Derek Carr at all. Interesting. I also do want to give a big shout out to the sponsor of today's live stream, which is indeed BetUS. BetUS is the official sportsbook sponsor of Jets Media. If you guys want to click the link down below in the description, they give you $50 when you sign up without even making a deposit. All you got to do is make an account with that link. They give you $50 free, or you can deposit money. They give you a 125% sign up bonus up to $2,500. And the cool thing about BetUS, I know that the football season's over, but guess what? You can bet on the NFL draft. You can bet on who's going to win a lot of stuff next year. Who's going to go first overall? Is it Bryce Young? Is it CJ Stroud? Who's the first quarterback selected? There's a lot of awesome player prop bets here on BetUS. I know that the NFL season's all wrapped up, but they do have fun offseason bets to get going here on BetUS. So again, guys, if you want to download BetUS, you click the link down below in the description. They also got the odds for 2024 Super Bowl. Where are the Jets odds? What's the Jets odds at? Let's see. Where are we at? Oh, we're pretty high. Whoa. So the Jets have the 1, 2, 3. Oh, wait, I can just say. The Jets have the 8th best odds to win the Super Bowl next year? What? What does Vegas know? The New York Jets are plus 2,500 to win the damn Super Bowl next year? Does Vegas know something that we don't? Okay. That's pretty wild. I'll take it. So again, guys, if you want to download BetUS, click the link down below in the description. Big time shout out to BetUS for sponsoring today's live show. Indy Jets, I know he's a big Derek Carr guy. Don't let Carr out of the building. Sign him now. So I just want to remind everybody that Derek Carr's stats from 2022, which is, by the way, his down year, would be like breaking records for every Jets quarterback we've had. 3,500 yards. When's the last time we had a quarterback to do that? 24 touchdowns. I know that's not a record, but we haven't even had a quarterback to put up 10 touchdowns in a season in 3 years. Pathetic. So I understand that everybody wants the New York Jets to get a quarterback. And you guys have to realize there's 2 quarterbacks that's available. Well, actually, we don't even know if Aaron Rodgers is available. So we can't even say that yet. Aaron Rodgers is under contract with the freaking Packers. So he's like literally not even officially available yet. So if you want to talk about the quarterbacks that's officially available, it's Derek Carr, and he's the best one available. Now, you want to talk about Aaron Rodgers, Lamar Jackson. Both of them are under – well, Lamar Jackson's not under contract technically. He's going to get the franchise tag. You're going to have to trade for him. But Derek Carr is the best free agent on the market right now. With 2 games sitting as well. Jimmy from Seattle reminds me, yeah, these stats are with Derek Carr sitting. That's a good point. So I know that there's a lot of Aaron Rodgers fans out there. I'm a big Aaron Rodgers fan as well, but this is really interesting news because it tells us and it reassures the report we saw last week that the New York Jets call the Raiders about a potential trade. Now, this reassures and it confirms that the Jets have legit interest in Derek Carr. That man's going to be at one Jets drive over the weekend. And what if the meeting goes so freaking well that they just sign him? That can happen. Not saying it will, not saying it's guaranteed, but it could happen. Now, let's see what the chat has to say. 84% says yes, you want the Jets to sign Carr. 84%. That's a big number. So everybody that's here tuning in live, do me a favor and vote on the poll so we can get all your voices heard. This is another good point from Shrek. I like Carr because we keep our picks. Now, if you want to weigh the Aaron Rodgers versus Derek Carr, Aaron Rodgers, you got to give up capital, and it's going to be for more short term. Derek Carr, you don't have to give up anything. You get to draft everybody around him, and you get him for a longer term. So that's where you got to evaluate this. You get Aaron Rodgers, you got to sacrifice that 13th overall pick, potentially another first in the future, or maybe more or less. We don't know what the compensation would look like. You bring in Derek Carr, we'd have a first-round pick to build around him. We have a second round. We have all of our capital still and our future draft picks as well, so we can continue to build through the draft. And I think we all, as Jets fans, have a lot of confidence in Joe freaking Douglas to hit home runs in the draft, because last year we have Breece Hall, we have Sauce Gardner, Garrett Wilson, 2 Rookie of the Year awards. I mean, the man is doing a great job in the draft. I know he has some misses sprinkled around there, but you give Joe Douglas another wild card in the first round of this year's draft class, get a nice tackle, maybe get him another weapon at the wide receiver spot. Who knows what he'll do with that 13th overall pick with Derek Carr. But I feel like that's something you got to include when you're weighing the options of getting Aaron Rodgers or Derek Carr. Derek Carr, you don't have to give up any draft capital. You don't have to trade for him. It's a free agent acquisition. Aaron Rodgers, you got to give up draft capital, and it's for more short term. But the positive to Aaron Rodgers, in my eyes, is Aaron Rodgers puts you over the top to the point where all of a sudden we are not playoff contenders. Dare I say Super Bowl contenders. What? Super Bowl? Richie, relax. We're not Super Bowl contenders with Aaron Rodgers. Well, guess what we are? We absolutely are, because Aaron Rodgers is a Super Bowl winning quarterback. He's a multi-time MVP, and the man is a dog. He is. And, Richie, he sucked last year. He's 1 year removed from winning back-to-back MVP awards, of that being Aaron Rodgers. So I'm all in on A-Rod. I'm also all in on Derek Carr. Give me one of them. Your boy's pumped. Okay? Everybody do me a favor. Hit that like button. We got 57 likes with just under 200 people watching. Hit that thumbs up button for your boy. Let's get to 100 likes if you're enjoying the show. So this is really crazy. I didn't expect this. I literally just made myself some lunch. I was going to watch my show because the day I don't really have anything else to do today. And then all of a sudden I see the news. I'm like, whoop, I'm going live. And here I am. What up, Chris? A-Rod 2 gets you Super Bowl contender. Exactly, Andre. I don't know where our expectations would be with Derek Carr. I think a wild card team is what our expectations would be with Derek Carr. Keep in mind, Derek Carr has never won a playoff game in his life. I think he's been to the playoffs twice, and he's 0-2 in the playoffs. Something to keep in mind as well. So the Jets have to weigh out their options here. And it's a really good sign that Derek Carr is going to be at one Jets drive this weekend. Because I was a little concerned, because we made a couple of videos over the week, and we were talking about the topic that, okay, how are the Jets going to maneuver this? The Jets have to really make a decision right now, because the New York Jets, they either go out there and get Derek Carr and in the building and sign him, or they wait for Aaron Rodgers. That's a big, big deal. It's a big decision to make from the New York Jets. And now the answer is that they're freaking bringing him in for a visit. They're bringing him in for a visit. And this is the second visit that Derek Carr is making, by the way. Derek Carr met with the New Orleans Saints already. So this is the second visit. I don't think this will be his final visit either. I think Derek Carr is going to go visit with another team, maybe the Carolina Panthers afterwards. I think he's going to go out there, get a little bit of the knowledge and the vision from each franchise that's interested in him. And I don't think Derek Carr is going to rush into a decision unless the meeting goes so well with the Jets where he's like, I want to sign with you guys. And the Jets are like, yeah, we want to sign you too. Let's make a contract, because that's the beautiful thing about this situation is that Derek Carr can sign at any moment. And then all of a sudden the quarterback situation is answered. That's what we are talking about. So the Derek Carr news is very, very intriguing because it really gives the Jets an opportunity to build around him more. You got more assets to build through the draft. Now, I don't know what a contract would look like. That's another whole conversation with Derek Carr. Is it a short-term 2-year deal? High AAV? Is it less AAV? Stretched out to 4 to 5 years? Is a fully guaranteed contract? What is the contract going to look like with Derek Carr if the Jets bring him in? Like, that's going to be very interesting. Is he looking for one of the highest paid quarterback contracts in the league? I sure hope not. I'm hoping it's in the 30 range. Give me 30 to 35 million per year. If you have to go 35 plus to get to 40, that's today's market. That's what it costs to pay for a quarterback. But they cannot. Now, this is where the Jets cannot fumble this, because they cannot allow Derek Carr to walk out the building with a sour taste in his mouth. And then Aaron Rodgers comes out of his darkness and he decides he's retiring. And then Derek Carr signs with the Saints. And then we are screwed. Screwed. So we need this Jets team to go into this meeting with some good vibes. We need Derek Carr leaving this meeting with a smile on his face. You know what I mean? I don't know how this is going to really maneuver the rest of the market. But the reality is, man, the New York Jets are bringing in Derek Carr. And it seems like you guys in the chat are mostly on board. If you look at the live chat, we got 81% of you guys saying, yes, you want the Jets to sign Derek Carr. John says, dead on, Richie. We can't F ourselves by dicking around too long. Yeah, we got to just make a decision. And the only way that we, just prolong this, it's just for the reason to give Aaron Rodgers some time to make his decision, because that's a thing here. The timing of this whole thing is very intriguing. The timing of Derek Carr coming in for a visit while Aaron Rodgers is on his retreat, it's kind of honestly perfect timing for the Jets, because it gives the Jets an opportunity to talk to Derek Carr while Aaron Rodgers is in his isolation. And then when Aaron Rodgers comes out of his isolation, that's hopefully when he will announce his decision of whether he's playing football with the Packers or not, or just retiring in totality. And then they'll give the Jets an idea of the timetable of, okay, Aaron Rodgers is playing. Oh, Aaron Rodgers is interested in the Jets. Okay, let's go out there and trade for Aaron Rodgers. But if Aaron Rodgers says, no, I'm retiring, or I'm not interested in coming to the Jets, then that's when the Jets can pivot, call Derek Carr. They already had their visit. I'm assuming that they're going to have some contract talks if they're really interested in each other, and then they can make an agreement through the phone right when Aaron Rodgers says potentially he's not coming to the Jets. So I think the timing of this whole situation is in the Jets' favor, because I was worried that this timing was not going to work. The Jets are going to wait for Aaron Rodgers to come out of his isolation, and it's going to be too late because Derek Carr signs with somebody else, and then we're hoping for Aaron Rodgers, and then Rodgers does decide not to come, and then we're back to square one, and we're interviewing Jimmy Garoppolo, and oh, no, thank you. Give me Derek Carr, give me Aaron Rodgers, or give me Lamar Jackson. Please. I like Derek Carr for this reason, and I think this is a good time to talk about Derek Carr, because I think there's a lot of mixed emotions about him. I mean, there's 81% of you guys want him, so that's definitely the majority. But Derek Carr could have a lot of better football left in him. Like, people realize, I mean, he's young. 32 years old is not as old as you might think. For a quarterback, that is a prime age for a veteran quarterback. Prime. I know you look at quarterbacks in their late 20s, that's mostly in their prime. But I think Derek Carr, with a new environment, could be playing his best football of his career. You talk about the weapons that Derek Carr will have at his disposal with Garrett Wilson, with Elijah Moore, but potentially a new wide receiver that we get in the draft or in free agency or the trade market. We got the tight end situation all worked up. We have the running backs. We have to beef up that offensive line. That's going to be the priority after the Jets bring in their quarterback. I think Derek Carr will look at this Jets team with the top 5 defense, only going to get better with the playmakers around him. I think Derek Carr can have one of his best seasons of his career. I really do. You know, you look at the numbers he put up in a down year. This is what, if a Jets quarterback put up these numbers, we'd be like, what? We have a quarterback. And I know this seems mediocrity. I mean, let's put up his career numbers real quick. I want to read off his career numbers. Because I understand that Jets fans are a little skeptical. I don't know if I want him. I don't know. Is it the smart decision? I hear you guys. I hear you. So, all right. I'm looking at his stats right now. So his career high in touchdowns is the Jets would be the franchise record for the Jets. That was in year number 2. Back in 2015, by the way, when Todd Downing, who is the new Jets passing game coordinator, was his quarterback coach, he had 32 touchdowns in year number 2. His career high in passing yards, 4,800, which was 2 years ago, 2021. So he's coming off back-to-back seasons with similar touchdown to interception ratio. 24 touchdowns to 14 interceptions last year. 23 touchdowns to 14 interceptions the year prior. 27 touchdowns to 9 picks 3 years ago. 21 to 8, 19 to 10, 22 to 13, 28 to 6, 32 to 13. I mean, the completion percentage is over 60%. I mean, he had a down year this year, but the year prior, 2021, he had a 68.4 completion percentage. He had a 67.3 completion percentage. 2019, he had a 70% completion percentage with over 4,000 yards. I mean, what are we doing here? If you're a Jets fan and you look at those freaking stats and you're going to say with a straight face that you don't want this man, have you been watching the Jets quarterbacks for the past 50 plus years? What do you expect? And if you're on the mindset of you prefer Aaron Rodgers, I hear you. I agree. But if you're totally against Derek Carr to the Jets, why? What's the reason for it? Are you concerned that he's too mediocre? Are you concerned that he can't get better? Are you concerned that he can't step up in the playoffs? A lot of people bring up the Matthew Stafford comparison. Oh, well, Derek Carr never won a playoff game in his life. Neither did Matthew Stafford. And then he goes to the Rams and wins a Super Bowl. So sometimes quarterbacks need to change the scenery to get a new life. And by the way, not to mention, you talk about clutch. Derek Carr is one of, if not the clutchest quarterback in the NFL since he entered the league in 2014. He leads the league in come from behind victories. That is a big deal. That's a big deal. And I know a lot of people are concerned with the cold weather for Derek Carr. Yeah, definitely bring that up. That's something you got to look out for. You need to have a quarterback that can handle cold weather. That's another reason why I prefer Aaron Rodgers over him. But Derek Carr would be, and then this is another thing you guys have to put in perspective. Let's go over last season. This Jets team was 7-4 in a prime position to make the playoffs with crappy quarterback play. If we had Derek Carr last year, we're in the playoffs. We're in the playoffs. We are in the playoffs with Derek Carr last season. We didn't have a quarterback, which resulted in 6 games losing streak, not being able to get in the end zone. Offense was a mess. Offensive coordinator didn't know what he was doing. Quarterback situation was trash. Offensive line injuries. Yeah. You bring in Derek Carr. It's a significant upgrade of what we had last year. Significant upgrade of what we had last year, man. We are in the playoffs with that man. That's a fact. That's not a prediction. That's not a what if this. We would have had 10 to 11 wins with Carr as our quarterback last season because that's how good our defense was. That's how good our freaking defense was. Don't forget about how talented and how stout and how potentially borderline elite our defense was last year. I know it didn't seem that way at the back end of the season because we weren't turning the ball over, but the defense did everything they possibly could to keep this team in the ability to make a run. Man, I'm getting a little too pumped up. I don't know about you guys, but I am. This is really good news because the Jets had to make a move to go out there and make sure that they're bringing in someone like Derek Carr in the building. You had to make this move, man. Now, to everybody in the chat, that let me know right now, do you want Derek Carr? If so, why do you want him? If you don't want him, let me know why you don't want him in the chat right now. Let me hear it. Let me hear it in the chat right now. And also, can we get to 100 likes, baby? 93 likes. Let's go. 7 more. Alexis says, love your show. And I love the fact that Joe D is not putting all of his faith on one quarterback acquisition. Let's play the leverage game and see what happens. Thank you, Alexis. I appreciate that. And I agree. I think what Joe Douglas is doing is really being patient, but at the same time aggressive with the quarterback situation, man. I'm really excited for it. What would the contract look like? Great question, Hennessy. I don't know. I'm hoping we can get a bargain like between 25 to 35 million per year is the avenue I would prefer. Anything north of 35 would definitely be steep. Like to keep the draft picks, obviously. This is a big positive of keeping getting Derek Carr over Aaron Rodgers is we get to keep our draft picks. Richie, Carr would have several Super Bowls if he had Rodgers' teams. This I don't think I can agree with. I love you, my man, but Aaron Rodgers is the better quarterback than Derek Carr, and I don't think that's arguable. I mean, I understand people that prefer Derek Carr over Aaron Rodgers in this situation because of his age and because of the trading for, but this take I cannot agree with. I'm sorry. Pros for Carr. Jets will be better. They'll win more games. Fans will be happier. Cons. He's not the best option. He won't be a top quarterback in the AFC. It'll only be a great move if all fits for the Jets. So the thing that we have to realize about this, we get Derek Carr. The rest of the NFL is not going to fear the Jets. So what's going to need to happen for us to really put it all together and make a playoff push, guys, is we need the defense to get better. We need Garrett Wilson to take another step. We need Breece Hall. We need the team around Derek Carr to be really freaking good. Because it seems like we're a quarterback away, but at the same time, we need the team around. We need the team around the quarterback to be elite with Derek Carr. Because Derek Carr hasn't really proved to be a quarterback that can elevate his guys around him as much as a guy like Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is somebody that just can read a defense and just bring the best out of anybody. Derek Carr, he's had great weapons throughout his career. Good weapons, solid weapons, but the team has to be really good around him. The run game needs to be really good. The protection needs to be good for Derek Carr because Derek Carr, not that good pocket awareness, doesn't have the athletic ability to escape pressure. He needs to have a great protection system. And I think the key to win with Derek Carr is going to be not only him playing good football, but he needs the team around him to be playing better than last year. Breaking news. Hit the like for Richie. Thank you, Rich. I don't think we need to give up much for Rodgers, honestly. I mean, Ian Rappaport did bring up that we have to sacrifice the 13th pick potentially. I'd hope that's false. Carr was also the third best passer under pressure last season. This is a good stat. This is a great stat. My apologies, my man. I'm not taking any call-ins today, but we will be doing call-ins next week for sure. Herbert's going to come here. My Biles, I love you, bro, but you got to let go of Herbert. Herbert's not coming to the Jets. I love you, man. Herbert's not coming to the Jets. I love you, bro. You're never change. The offensive line can solve all. The offensive line can solve all. F them picks. VR's like, I don't care about them picks. Go after Aaron Rodgers. Derek Carr has played in 7 games in which the temperature was 36 degrees or lower. He's 0-7. Yeah, so this is definitely the big gripe to Derek Carr's game. He cannot play in cold weather. And what happens in the Northeast in January? It gets cold. So I don't know if this is something that's, I don't know. Rob chimes in about that narrative. This cold weather narrative is ass. 7 games over 9 effing years. Past Jets quarterbacks can't play when it's cold, warm, and daylight at night when it rains. Stupid take. He's got a point. Anybody that watched the Jets last year knows we are a quarterback away from playoffs. Carr is good enough to get us there. We have weapons. Facts. I agree, man. People get accumulated to weather. Stop with the nonsense. You think Mike White would want to stay on a smaller contract? Then he can get somewhere else to learn behind Carr or Rodgers. I'd like to keep him around. Brian, I'd love to keep Mike White. I would love a quarterback room of Derek Carr or Aaron Rodgers with Mike White and Zach Wilson. Love you too, Richie. I'm just throwing out all possible ideas, QBs that are up for contract like Lamar or Herbert. Rodgers is a proven vet who's a back-to-back MVP, and Carr is an underdog but can ball. Hell yeah. Carr is an underdog, and he's always been an underdog. And he's always been such an underrated quarterback, and I'm down. The reason why I'm busting your chops with Herbert, just because he's due for a contract doesn't mean the Chargers are going to want to trade him. I think that the Chargers are going to pay that man. I mean, the reason why the NFL cap is going up is to be able to afford the lucrative contracts like Joe Burrow and Jalen Hurts and Herbert. All those guys are going to be getting paid. I'm a true Raiders fan, and Carr is cool in practice. Is cool in practice, and when there's no pressure, but under pressure, he backpedals and he makes bad decisions. Yeah, so this is a good take from a Raiders fan that's been tuning in to Derek Carr throughout his entire career. He is prone to be making bad decisions. I've definitely noticed that in his game. So we'll see, man. But if he has those boneheaded mistakes, can he back it up with some really good plays? Signing Carr would be the most Jets thing ever. What could possibly go wrong? My question to you, Jet 6-string passion, what would you want the Jets to do if they don't sign Carr? Carr almost got us Trevor Lawrence. Yep, remember that? Don't sign Carr. You'll regret it. Whoever our quarterback is has to have the right mindset for the New York media, good and bad days. I don't know if Rodgers fits New York. I think Rodgers doesn't give a crap about anything anymore at this point in his career. I think he'd be able to handle New York personally. But I think Derek Carr could also handle it. What does Allen want? I am waiting, so let me know. Mahomes and Burrow can be beat with ball control. I'm not afraid of Josh Allen. I'm afraid of Burrow and Mahomes more than Allen. That's for sure. That's for sure. Mahomes and Burrow are the two quarterbacks that's going to be running the AFC conference for a long time. Josh Allen, not afraid of you, buddy. Not at all. I think we could beat the Buffalo Bills with Derek Carr. And if you don't think they can, guess what? We beat the Buffalo Bills with Zach Wilson. Enough said. Enough said. Allen is declining already. Woo-wee. I love it. I mean, he's not declining already. He's still going to be a good quarterback, but I'm just like, The reason why I'm not afraid of Josh Allen is because I love the way that this Jets defense matches up against him. Like the 2 games we versed the Bills, Josh Allen had his 2 worst games of the season. Like, I like how our defense with Robert Saleh matches up against him, and not to mention Josh Allen plummeting in the playoffs again. So it's Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes. I mean, Mahomes is in a completely different stratosphere. I don't think anybody can touch Mahomes. Burrow's below him. Jets have shifted back to the odds-on favorites to get Rodgers, though. And you know what's crazy, guys? Look at this. On BetUS, the New York Jets have the 8th best odds to win the Super Bowl next season. I don't know why, but I'll take it. I mean, they have better odds than the Ravens, than the Broncos with Sean Payton, than the Jaguars who made the playoffs last year, than the Dolphins, than the Raiders, than the Giants, the Patriots. I mean, look at all these teams that the Jets have better odds than. That's wild stuff. Shout out to BetUS for giving the Jets some love. I take Burrow. Mahomes too reliant on mobility. I mean, bro, Mahomes has been to 3 Super Bowls and has 2 rings. I mean, Mahomes is better than Burrow. I'm sorry. I mean, that's not an argument, is it? Is it still an argument? Come on. Give me Mahomes. If I can choose one quarterback on the Jets in the league, it's Patrick Mahomes. Case closed. They're protecting themselves in case the Jets get Rodgers. Yeah. Rodgers minus 120 to Jets. Next highest is Raiders at plus 300. It's true. Christian Hackenberg chimes in. Maybe we should bring in Hackenberg. People forget that before the 2022 season, he was discussed as a top 10 quarterback 1 year with Mike McDaniels, and everyone thinks he's a bum now. Good point. Bro, Mahomes can make every throw, even that weren't invented before. Facts. I mean, do we really? Mahomes has Mickey Mouse rings. You better be trolling, because this ain't true. Get Jimmy G cheap. He has connections already with Saleh. Can handle cold weather. Great leader. Zach can learn from him. He gets hurt. Zach comes in and wins it all. I don't know about this one. First of all, what gives you the confidence that if Zach Wilson comes in, he's going to win it all? And number 2, I'm happy you brought up him getting hurt, because that's all he does is get hurt. Derek Carr is an underrated athlete. He ran a 4.640 at the combine. Wow. I don't really see him using his legs a lot as a quarterback. I like to see that more. We are sitting here debating Carr. What the F do Jets fans know about good quarterback play? It's Snoopy. Who do you want? You're so against Derek Carr. Like, who do you want? Like, do you realize that there's only a certain amount of quarterbacks that's available for the Jets, and Derek Carr happens to be one of the better ones available? Who do you want? I want Aaron Rodgers too, more than Derek Carr. I want Aaron Rodgers. No doubt about it. Yes, I want Rodgers too. But I wouldn't be upset with Derek Carr if Aaron Rodgers... Like, the question to you again is, if Aaron Rodgers decides to retire, what do you want the Jets to do? Not get Derek Carr? If Aaron Rodgers decides to retire, or he decides to go to the Raiders or stay with the Packers, what do you want? The reality is, you got to be able to assess who's available. And that's the unfortunate reality that the Jets are in right now and not having a quarterback. It sucks. You know what the best case scenario would be at this point, guys? Is that Zach Wilson's a good quarterback. We wouldn't be having this discussion if Zach Wilson had a breakout year in year 2. He had 29 touchdowns. He played all year. He had 9 picks. The Jets made the playoffs. They won a playoff game with Zach Wilson. Then we wouldn't be having this conversation. But unfortunately, that's not the case, so we need a quarterback. Carr will be overpaid. That's what I don't like. You got to realize as well, my man, that quarterbacks are all overpaid. It's the market. Don't look at it from a number standpoint. You compare the quarterbacks, you compare the contracts of the quarterbacks. That's how you look at it. You cannot compare the money to like other positions. Yeah, he's going to be overpaid. From what perspective? The cap is rising, so it's not going to hurt the Jets as much as you think. Zach screwed us indeed. He did. Derek Carr, zero rings. Aaron Rodgers, rings. Who do you want? I want Aaron Rodgers. But I also think that Derek Carr wouldn't be a bad option. Let's get Carr. Enough said. So it is cool that we have a lot of fans in the chat that split. I like that. It adds some debate. It adds some conversation. You feel me? It adds some convo. This is really big news, man. This weekend's going to be even more interesting. This weekend's going to be even more interesting. Rodgers for 15 mil is overpaid. Well, you got to give up capital for Rodgers. So that's why some people think it's overpaid because you have to give up all your draft picks. Almost everyone in this room talking about Carr like he played both offense and defense. Carr never had a top defense. Very true, Dallas. Talk about that. The Raiders never supported that man with a good defense. The Jets, they have a good defense. Aaron Rodgers only been to the Super Bowl one time in his whole career. Yeah, and he's won one. He's 1-0, undefeated in the Super Bowl. V-Man, go out a Derek Carr card at the park where the Jets practice. Hurry. I feel like we all agree Rodgers over Carr, but like you said, you can't choke on both. So you need to make Carr feel prioritized. Don't shit the bed and lose both. Yeah, this is the main point of this conversation, guys, is that the Jets cannot fumble this. They cannot allow one of these two guys to go elsewhere, which is why they need to make sure that Derek Carr feels like he's prioritized. This is going to be interesting, bro. This is going to be very interesting. Will Rodgers be on Pat's show Tuesday? I don't know. Raiders fan here. I was the biggest Carr supporter until this season. He looked like a shell of himself this year. Now, why do you think that, my man? Do you think it was because of the coach? I mean, he had Devontae Adams this season. I mean, what happened to Carr this year? Like, what was different? Like, what part of his game took a step back? I'm curious. Is it McDaniels? I mean, that seems to be the only thing that changed around him. Joe needs to lock Carr in the building this weekend. Smart. Zach didn't necessarily screw the Jets. He just had a low floor, and the coaching staff had an awful plan for grooming him. He remains an incomplete player, not necessarily a bust after just 1.3 season. Yeah, of course. You can't, it's just hard to put faith in him. That's the issue here. It's really hard to look at Zach Wilson and say with a straight face that you believe that he can figure it out because he hasn't proved that he can. And that's the reason why we're in the situation of getting a new quarterback. His interceptions is what took a step back for Carr. Well, let's hope that doesn't happen. We should have took Justin Fields. Yeah, that's what Snoopy doesn't seem to get. No, and is saying that Carr is better than Rodgers, but we can't afford to lose out on both of them, and we got to make a decision quick here. Yep, that's where we're at right here. So we get Carr breaking news today, and Manny Machado opting out news today. Big news day. With Carr, you keep your first-round pick and have a quarterback for at least the next 5 years. If they don't get Carr now, I think we lose both. I don't trust Rodgers. He will either retire or go to the Raiders. Nah, Rodgers still going to come to the Jets. Maybe a hot take, Justin Fields isn't that good either. I agree. So me and you are both on this hot take together, my friend. Justin Fields, good rushing quarterback. That's all I'll give him. DC will ball out, and Jets will be the team to beat. Love that energy. Richie, you think it's better for Carr to sign before free agency starts? Yeah, he's going to sign before free agency starts. Free agency doesn't start for like a month. He's got a lot of time. Not saying he can't get back to regular form, but it looked like he was the main problem, not McDaniels, although his play calling could have been better. Interesting. I will legit buy a Carr jersey this weekend. Well, we'll see. My thing is Justin Fields had nothing around him, then switch Justin Fields and Zach Wilson. I believe you make the playoffs with Justin Fields. We don't lose 6 games in a row. Yeah, I mean, what if this, what if that? Football is always a roll of the dice, so the gambling begins between Carr and Rodgers. Hopefully it's one of those two. Let's put this into perspective. We actually have a quarterback that is coming to visit the Jets as a free agent. Yeah. How about that? We have a quarterback that's pretty good, that's interested in coming here. It's pretty cool. Pretty darn cool. Dave chimes in, Carr sucks, and he's a Gruden grinder. This is a Raiders fan. Other concern with Rodgers is his decline from last season. Now, the reason why I don't really worry about this is because last season you took away Devontae Adams. Last season you took away his buddy Nathaniel Hackett, and he also had a thumb injury from the Giants. Remember, the Packers were 3-1. He got injured against the Giants, 3-2. And then the next game was against the Jets, and they fall to 3-3. And then from then on out, Rodgers started to struggle. So I'm not reading too much into that. I think that Rodgers will have a way better season with the Jets this season than he did last year with the Packers if he came. OMG, this cold weather crap. They're all football players. Agree. Carr is the better pick for the Jets when it comes to quarterback stability. He provides more guaranteed years of good play. That is very true. I just hope this isn't the Kirk Cousins situation 2.0. He just uses us for contract leverage with other teams. Yeah, it really is interesting because if you look back at that whole situation, what if the Jets signed Kirk Cousins? Where the hell are we at right now, right? I mean, Kirk Cousins is the epitome of a solid, average quarterback. You can give him the benefit of the doubt. I mean, it's weird. You look at Kirk Cousins' numbers, statistically, they're like off the charts. But then you watch him play and you watch him in the playoffs, sucks, right? Jorge says, Richie, I'm a Jets fan from Fresno, California, where Carr played. That'd be pretty cool to have a community connection here with the Jets. Lots of diehard Carr fans here. I'd love that, man. That'd be great. Please don't bring Kirk Cousins here. Kirk Cousins is not coming here. This was years ago we're talking about. Cousins ain't coming here. Carr and Cousins are the same. I mean, we'll see. I definitely could see the comparison. I mean, Kirk Cousins is an average quarterback. Derek Carr is an average quarterback. They kind of have some similarities. You can definitely sell me on that. Travis, a great member of Jets media. Carr has never been on a good team. I think he can be better than Rodgers or just as good on a team. Can't let Carr out of the building without signing. Yeah, but then you lose the risk of missing out on Aaron Rodgers. That's the thing, man. You don't want to sign him right away because what if Aaron Rodgers comes out and he's like, all right, I had a whole isolation of me meditating on coming to the Jets. And now let me call up Nathaniel. What? You guys signed Derek Carr? Oh, never mind. I don't want that to happen. I can't see Carr having much success. I know the Raiders have been a dysfunctional team for the last 2 decades, and he was stable at the quarterback position, but Carr has been tainted by the Raiders' ineptness. Jets win a Super Bowl with Carr and our defense. Bet. Patrick is all in on Derek Carr. I love it. New York is too noisy for Aaron Rodgers. He'll take the challenge. Peyton is 8-11 in games below 40. Yeah, he sucks in cold weather. Carr, Cousins, or Rodgers? Who do you want? Rodgers. What kind of question is that? Aaron Rodgers. Faux show. For sure, for sure. The cold weather is an issue. It is not crap. When this guy plays horribly in every cold weather game, look it up. You can mock it all you want. Facts are facts. Chris is doubling down. This is our year. Yes, it is. Do people realize that Kirk Cousins would own every Jets record ever if he played his career here? That is true, John. Unfortunately. Richie, what do you think? Zach's issues seem to be that he wasn't mentally tough enough and hungry enough to play enough to make use of his talent under adverse circumstances. Hope for redemption for him. The only way that you fix Zach Wilson is if you bring in Aaron Rodgers and he learns behind him. I don't think Derek Carr coming here is going to help out Zach. So you bring in Derek Carr, Zach Wilson's future with the Jets is over, in my opinion. I think Joe will get us the right guy. Believe that, Pete. I believe it too. Aaron Rodgers and Derek Carr have always had a relationship. What if Carr knows something about that, why he's taking the visit? I don't know about that. I think he's just taking the visit because he wants to, he's a free agent. He's allowed to. The Carr cold weather sample size is too small to be considered a legitimate major concern, in my opinion. Well, thanks for having me. Good luck to you guys next season. Raiders, God bless. Good luck to your Raiders next year, man. Curious to see what quarterback you guys bring in. They'll probably be fixing the O-line. No matter who we have as quarterback, that line has to be fixed. I would rather have Carr because of longevity. Rodgers, you're looking at 1 year, maybe 2. Yeah, that's a great point, Tyrone. I feel like the offensive line is the next up priority after the quarterback search for sure. And Derek Carr gives you 3 to 4 seasons. Aaron Rodgers is like a 1 to 2 year thing. Bring back Geno. I'm all in. But that's not happening. Raiders stay. Hey, that's not nice. Come on. Dude's nice to us. As of 2019, Carr was 2-9 under 50 degrees, and in his career 0-6 when playing under 35 degrees. As of 2021, he has regressed since then. I hope Jets don't overpay. He's not worth it. Dave is not on board. Does Carr get a 3-year deal with us? Yeah, I think 3 years is the minimum. I would be shocked if it's a 2-year deal. Maybe the Jets can maneuver like a 3-year deal with a fully guaranteed money. All comes in the first 2 years so we can get out of his contract. If things go south, we'll see. Sign an O-line in free agency. Yeah, they got to sign O-lineman. They got to draft O-lineman. They got to trade for O-lineman. They got to claim O-lineman. They got all O-lineman, man. Who's to say Carr don't retire in 2 years or fall off a cliff? You can't assume anything. Rodgers could play 5 more for all we know. Yeah, I want Rodgers. Trust me. We need a safety and DT more than anything. Not more than anything. We need a quarterback more, and we need an offensive line more. We can survive. Think of it this way. We were a top 5 defense without the safety and D tackle you're talking about. So I wouldn't think – I don't see this need as a priority. I see it as a need. I don't see it as a priority. Big difference. Why do you think Rodgers is going to teach another quarterback anything? He has never been known to teach backups. It doesn't even have patience. Because the reason is Aaron Rodgers and Zach Wilson have developed a friendship over the years, ever since they met each other at the practices 2 years ago. Zach Wilson has modeled his game after Aaron Rodgers. Zach Wilson's upbringing was all about watching every single Aaron Rodgers game, and he said himself that Aaron Rodgers is his role model. He wants to be the next Aaron Rodgers. He looks at Aaron Rodgers' film, and he tries to replicate him. And Aaron Rodgers and Zach Wilson, they have a relationship. They call each other. They text each other. So I feel like Aaron Rodgers would welcome that ability to bring Zach Wilson underneath his wing, show him his routine, show him how he approaches things, because I think Aaron Rodgers is the perfect guy to help out Zach Wilson's mind off the field, how to get him to a structured routine. Now, it's hopeful, wishful thinking. I get that, but there's more than just him developing somebody. He already has a connection with Zach, which is why I think it's possible. I'm shocked we haven't heard any leaks from the Jets. Call with the Packers on Rodgers earlier in the week. Yeah. Obviously, quarterback. I meant after quarterback. Richie, we have one DT under contract and our safeties suck. O-line with Becton, Lankin, AVT, and D. Brown is okay. Well, Quinnen Williams, listen, we definitely have a need. Jordan Whitehead is going to stay, so the free safety is going to be a hole. D-tackle, are they going to re-sign Sheldon Rankins? Are they going to bring back someone? Are they going to extend Quinnen? I get all that. But I think that's not that big of a need because I like our defense around them a lot. But they're definitely going to bring in players at these positions for sure. Rodgers' job is not to develop nobody. That's not going to be his job. I think it's going to happen organically. We need to draft an OT and a center. Yep. I'm down to re-sign Rankins. Some of you analysts think Rodgers is going to fix Zach. The kid is fried. I'm not expecting it to happen. I'm just bringing it up because anything can happen. I'm not putting my faith in it. I'm not expecting all of a sudden Zach Wilson just transform. But all I'm saying is that if there was a way for Zach to get fixed, that's the way. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's going to happen. So please don't put words in my mouth. Why not Lamar to the Jets? Hey, possible. But the problem here is I think the Jets are going to make their decision before Lamar Jackson potentially becomes available. Rodgers will be your Raider. Mr. OG Raiders coming in. He wants Rodgers. I feel like if Derek Carr comes, Zach Wilson is gone. I agree. I don't think he's gone this season, but I think he's gone in the future. Yeah. Richie, you going to Ken to watch Revis and Klecko going to the Hall of Fame? I'm not. When even is that? I'm not sure when that is. That for the Hall of Fame game? Like when is that at? That'd be cool. That would be cool. Carr for 4, Rodgers for maybe 2 years. Plus, it doesn't cost anything. So he's saying Carr for 4 years is better than Rodgers for maybe 2 years. On top of it, you don't have to give up draft capital. Valid points. What do you think about the Jets drafting Tanner McKee as a backup plan to Zach in the 4th? Yeah, I think that the Jets could very well draft a quarterback in the later rounds this season. I definitely think they're going to do that. They whiffed it on the James Morgan selection. I think they're going to try to draft a quarterback in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round this year. Chargers signed Bakeston Bartos. Who's that? Why would Rodgers go to a team just because a wideout who left him a year ago? I would trade Zach Wilson, use that $20 million to re-sign players of need. I'm saying no picks for Carr. 2 first plus Rodgers plus the Raiders have an ace in the hole because Green Bay has tried twice to get Darren Waller. True. Well, guys, this is definitely some breaking, interesting news that we had to talk about today. I'm very thankful to be live talking to you guys about this. And this is really, really big, groundbreaking stuff. And I'm sure this is just the beginning. We're going to hear a lot more news coming out for sure. And I'm excited, man. All right, well, I'm going to wrap up the show here, guys. Thank you for tuning in to my thoughts of the New York Jets bringing in Derek Carr for a visit this weekend. We got a lot of Jets content coming your way, of course, throughout the offseason and, of course, throughout this weekend. So hit that subscribe button if you're not already. Hit that like button as well if you are tuning in for the first time. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you guys tuning into this show. Let's bring in Derek Carr if possible. That would be freaking great. I am all in. All freaking in. Thank you all for tuning in, man. Let's go, Jets. I'm assuming everybody wants... I don't want to speak for everybody. Majority of you guys wants Derek Carr, so we'll see if it happens or not. I appreciate you guys. Much love for tuning into my show, and let's go Jets. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace. Hey, what if the Jets just sign him tomorrow? Oh, we'll see.